Behind every master is a mentor. And for ace pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto, that teacher was Osamu Yada, seen right. "He's the person who built me," said Yamamoto after winning the 2025 World Series. Yada trained his pupil using unorthodox methods. No weight training, javelin throwing drills, difficult yoga exercises. They trained to achieve efficiency of movement, flexibility, and to reduce injury. They trained to pitch on short rest or no rest. Yoshi Yamamoto might just be the clearest example of how a great trainer can shape a career trajectory. Let's talk about Yoshi's sensei, Osamu Yada. The 2025 World Series was one for the ages. Two great teams battling in a dramatic, hard-fought 7-game series with memorable, dramatic moments. Stellar defensive play, clutch hitting, and exceptional pitching performances, especially from one man, Yoshi Yamamoto. He shut down the Blue Jays in Game 2, pitching what is practically unheard of in the postseason, a complete game. He then delivered 7 innings of 1-run ball in Game 6, and in the finale, Yamamoto came out of the bullpen on no rest to pitch 2 2/3 scoreless innings and secure the win. After being crowned the 2025 World Series MVP, my friend Trent sent me an ESPN article by Jeff Passan that mentioned Yamamoto's 66-year-old trainer, Osamu Yada. Intrigued, I started searching for more information. Who was the diminutive trainer with a piercing in his left ear? The first thing to say is that Yada is an elusive figure. There isn't a Wikipedia entry for him in English or Japanese, at least not at the time of this video. He's been interviewed, but most of it is in a language I don't speak. What I can say is that somewhere in Osaka, Japan, you will find the Kinetic Forum, Yada's biomechanical movement clinic, where he works with both ordinary clients and elite athletes. This is where Osamu Yada developed a unique training method, the body connection system. His exercises are designed to produce more power with less effort by rebuilding the body's foundation, standing posture, breathing rhythm, hip alignment. Yada has said, "You can't walk correctly if you can't stand correctly. You can't run correctly if you can't walk correctly. You can't throw correctly if you can't run correctly." Everything is connected. It's a bit like what Mr. Miyagi said to Daniel-san: "You must have balance before you punch or kick." Listed at 5 foot 10 inches and 176 pounds, Yoshi Yamamoto doesn't fit the mold of a traditional power pitcher. And he doesn't train like one either. Instead of weight training, his regimen revolves around things like foam ball throwing, yoga-based mobility work, and his visually striking routine of javelin throws. All of it is designed to unlock a new level of movement precision. I couldn't find anything about their first meeting or precisely when Yada began training Yoshi, but what is clear is that not long after the Oryx Buffaloes drafted the 18-year-old, Yada, based in Osaka, began working with him. "In my first year in NPB," Yamamoto said, "pitching just 5 innings would leave my arm completely exhausted and my elbow in pain. I knew I had to change that, so I started practicing full body throwing and incorporating javelin-style movements. That helped me pitch deeper into games. At the time, I don't think anyone else was training this way, so people around me dismissed what I was doing. But I trusted Yada Sensei, and looking back, I'm really glad I didn't change my approach even when others rejected it." All bodies are different. Yada built a plan specifically for Yoshi's body, a philosophy that set him apart from many old-school Japanese trainers. Yada believed the lower body should carry the workload, not the shoulder. He worked with Yamamoto to refine the body's efficiency and standardize a set of training routines. It was about flexibility and technique, not brute strength. Well, the plan worked. In Yoshi's case, intensive weight training was not a prerequisite for throwing high-velocity pitches with movement and break. Together, Yada and Yoshi developed the physicality to deliver 4 pitches with devastating effect: fastball, slider, curveball, and forkball. That arsenal made him the most effective pitcher in Japan. From 2021 to 2023, Yamamoto won 3 consecutive Most Valuable Player awards and 3 consecutive Sawamura awards, the Japanese equivalent of the Cy Young. He won the pitching Triple Crown, leading the Pacific League in wins, strikeouts, and earned run average. But would that generational dominance translate to Major League Baseball? Scouts believed it would, and when he decided to sign with the Los Angeles Dodgers, the contract signed was massive, $325 million for 12 years. Would he live up to the hype? During spring training in 2024, Bill Plunkett of the Orange County Register did a profile on Yamamoto's unusual training methods and his sensei Yada. Everyone in Dodger Town could see that Yoshi Yamamoto didn't warm up the way a typical starter does. In fact, teammates expressed curiosity about his unusual stretching routines and long toss, including shortstop Mookie Betts, seen on the right, receiving instruction from Yada himself. Of course, what works for one man doesn't always work for another. What I will say is that the Dodgers have a powerful asset in their exclusive relationship with the Japanese trainer from Osaka. Will yoga mats and javelin rods reshape pro baseball the way video analysis did in the 1980s and 1990s? Or analytics in the aughts? Maybe, maybe not. But I do think Yada's partnership with Yoshi speaks to something happening behind the scenes. Superstar athletes rely on trainers and consultants to prepare for competition on the world's biggest stages. Fans see the stars, not the architects. In the case of Osamu Yada, he stands out as a special kind of teacher, and it's hard to imagine his office phone won't be ringing all day long after the 2025 season. If Yamamoto stays healthy and continues to dominate, it will be quite a triumph for those unconventional training methods that made him what he is. But this story is about more than just pro baseball. It speaks to something more universal, about mentors who push their students to think outside of the box, to think holistically and go against the flow. In the comments section, tell me about other great player-coach partnerships, whether from the world of sports or your own life. Like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Like the guy says, you're gonna eat lightning and you're gonna crap thunder.